Several days later, gallium isn't showing much obvious effect, though I think the aluminium will be totally rotten by now. But the Galinstan, the effect that's had is mind-boggling, especially on the piece of bar. It's not too bad on the plate, but the bar is completely destroyed and encrusted with this black residue, flaking apart. It's a very dramatic effect. And that little blob that I put on top of the liquid metal has kind of mushroomed up and folded back on itself somehow. Yeah. Yes, very effective if you wanted to do nasty things to metal. I don't know why that end looks almost untouched still for some reason. It's just got a trace of oil on it from cutting or something like that. At the surface, in fact, the centre of each end is still clean again. So there's something on it from cutting or just the effect of cutting on the metal. But all the surfaces where it's been extruded are just gone. I'm curious as to the effect on the aluminium. No, it doesn't seem to have turned that brittle. It could be that it was just too cold. It was too large a piece and too cold. And the gallium set before it had a chance to react. The other experiment I did with a smaller piece and possibly more gallium in proportion, I think that produced enough heat in its reaction to stay liquid. As it was still liquid the next day in possibly just a fractionally warmer environment than this. This is near a patio door. But yes, it's a pretty dramatic effect. I'll have to do a bit of research on that so you can figure out the actual results, the chemical or metal composition of the results. Anyway, thanks for watching. This is after about 14 hours trying to put the Galinstan on this piece of aluminium. See, it's producing this black residue. I think some of the fins have actually fallen off by the look of it. Look at that. So they've either fallen off or they've get the light right. They've fallen off all others. Yeah. There's something very strange happening down there. Looks like pieces have dropped off the edge of it. It's not being picked up or anything. It's might have moved fractionally as I moved the dish around. But since the end of the other video, it's not being disturbed other than just sliding the dish around. You see the state of the piece of metal. It's crazy. There's, if it was wood, you'd say it has got something like some kind of rot that had been going through it for years to get to that state of disintegration. It looks like the anodised shell is actually peeling off in places as the reaction underneath is pushing it away. There's a lot of bits of flaky material, or like just thin layers with different textures to the black stuff that's been produced. It's a very, very strange reaction, nothing like I was expecting. I mean, that's the typical one. It looks black because they move light. That's the typical gallium aluminium one. It's not much obvious, but the metal itself has just gone fragile. I mean, one of the descriptions online is like unfired clay. It holds together, but it's got no strength at all. Oh, apparently also, once it's in this state, if you drop it in water, it reacts quite violently and releases a lot of hydrogen as the aluminium pulls the oxygen out of the water. Anyway, yes, it's a surprising result and very interesting. Very weird.